This is actually going to be a super important video because given the traction of where Pokemon Go is going, a lot of players, including myself, are making a huge mistake. Alright, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So I'm actually feeling a lot of regret right now because over this past weekend we had Dynamax Machamp Battle Day, and it was a great opportunity for you to get a Dynamax Pokemon, which a lot of players are saying is a must-get Pokemon. If you care anything about Dynamax Battles, then you needed to get yourself at least one Dynamax Machamp. And unfortunately, I was not able to do that because during the day when we had Dynamax Battle Day, I had a lot of things planned and I was just not able to make some time to get at least one of these battles done, even remotely. So yeah, I'm feeling it right now. I feel like I missed out on a really important Dynamax Pokemon, and this is precisely what I want to talk about today. Why I feel like it's a huge detriment right now that we are ignoring Dynamax content. I know I'm not speaking for everyone. There's definitely a huge player base out there who is enjoying Dynamax content, and I really do feel like those players are in the right now because with a lot of the things that Pokemon Go is doing in terms of the content that Niantic is pushing, it just seems like Dynamax content is going to be the future. That they're going to start moving away from raiding content, they're going to start moving away from PvP, and it's going to be all about Dynamax battles. Now, this is all, of course, a lot of speculation. Everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video may not necessarily come true, but it just seems like this is the direction that Niantic is going, so I really do want to talk about this. I do feel like with all the future content that's coming to Pokemon Go, there's going to be a huge emphasis on Dynamax Pokemon and Dynamax battles. Essentially, this is what the game is going to be. It's going to be all about Dynamax content, and because of that, I feel like for missing out on Dynamax Machamp, that is just crazy for me to do, because Dynamax Machamp currently right now is one of the best Dynamax Pokemon you can have, and yeah, that's going to change in a little bit because we are about to get the crowned forms of Zacian and Zamazenta. But again, that just speaks to what Niantic is doing. It just seems like there's such a strong emphasis towards Dynamax content. And as they release new Dynamax Pokemon, as they release new Gigantamax Pokemon, a lot of this stuff is stuff we should not be ignoring. Even if we already have these Pokemon and we care less about Dynamax content, I really do think we need to stop doing that, because when it comes to future stuff, like future events, when it comes to Pokemon Go Fest, when it comes to the Wild Area event, when it comes to Go Tour events, and a lot of things that they might have in store for us, I think there's going to be a big push for Dynamax Pokemon, and it's going to become the main thing. And you know, I think for a lot of players, maybe a lot of longtime players like myself, whenever Niantic introduces something new, there is a lot of, I want to say, a little bit of pessimism. Like anytime Niantic releases new features, anytime they release new game modes, it just seems like because it's not anything to do with raiding, people just tend to ignore it. That's been kind of like my attitude towards Dynamax battles and Max Camp battles in general. Like, anytime there is a new Dynamax Pokemon or there is a new Gigantamax Pokemon, I don't necessarily feel that urge or that sense of, I guess, urgency to go out and get those Pokemon. Because, yeah, Dynamax battles, I think it was a lot of fun when it first came out. It was definitely something fresh, it was definitely something new, and personally, I was very enthusiastic about it. But at this point, I just feel like it's supplementary content. It's not something that is necessary. It's not something that really contributes to my own personal progression and a lot of the stuff that I personally care about when it comes to Pokemon Go. But I feel like that is something that I need to stop. It's something that I really need to start caring about. I feel like Dynamax battles are really what is going to be what they're going to put a lot of their development energy into. And this is actually very evident with some of the stuff that was recently data mined. They started pushing a lot of stuff related to Eternatus, which is actually going to be probably the final boss when it comes to Dynamax battles. And if we're ignoring Dynamax content right now, if we're not getting the Gigantamax Pokemon and Dynamax Pokemon, if we're not building up our Dynamax collection, then we're going to struggle quite a lot. I mean, Dynamax battles are really difficult. It's not easy content. It's actually somewhat endgame content. Like the Gigantamax encounters, they're incredibly difficult. You can only bring 4 trainers. Yes, you could pair up with other teams, but it doesn't guarantee you the encounter. It doesn't guarantee you success if you just zerg it with a whole bunch of players. You actually need a lot of strategy, you need a lot of planning, and you need a lot of dynamic forms of gameplay, which we haven't really seen before. Like even with raid battles, yes, you could strategize with your team, you could bring certain mega evolutions that's going to bring a lot of bonuses. You could level up your friendship levels to get damage bonuses. You could bring best buddy Pokemon, and of course there is the type advantages and what Pokemon you bring. Yes, there is a lot of strategy and planning involved in raiding, but it's really if you're going about it with the least number of trainers as possible. If you're going about it with 20 trainers, you're gonna defeat that raid boss probably no issue. And the same can be said for Shadow raids. Even though Shadow legendary raids were meant to be the next level of difficulty when it comes to raid battles, it's still incredibly easy content as long as you have the number of trainers that is going to take it down. So yeah, when it comes to Dynamax content though, when it comes to Gigantamax battles, it's a completely different story. You have only 3 other trainers to battle with, and the 3 of you, or the 4 of you, need to strategize. You need to have a tank, you need to have someone who is going to be a bit of a support, and you need to bring the right damage dealers, because if you do not, your team is going to fail. And even if the entire lobby, which could consist up to, I think, about 40 trainers, even if they were to take it down, if you personally lose all of your Pokemon, you're still not going to get the encounter. You're still not going to get the rewards. So yeah, it is incredibly difficult, and I think this is something Niantic is fully aware of. They know that Dynamax content is actually something that requires a lot of effort, and I think because of that, I think they're going to push a lot of content towards this specific game mode. So yeah, I think for all of us who are ignoring Dynamax content currently, I think this is something we need to change. I think when it comes to the daily usage of max particles, we need to actually spend them. We need to power up our max moves. We need to get more Dynamax Pokemon that are going to be essential for future content. We need to get the strongest Gigantamax Pokemon and max Pokemon that we can get, whether it be Machamp, Lapras, the starters that we are about to get through the GoFest tie-in events. We need to actually participate in these max battle days and get these very powerful Gigantamax Pokemon, because yeah, eventually we're going to get a lot of stuff like Eternatus. We're going to get Gigantamax Pokemon that are incredibly difficult. We're going to get legendary Dynamax Pokemon that are going to be essential. It's definitely looking like a form of progression that, yeah, is going to be the main content moving forward. That's just my own speculative thoughts. I do understand that there is a high chance that Niantic could have Dynamax content fall by the wayside eventually. That's something that we've seen already with stuff like Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolution battles, they were the biggest thing when they first came out. And after a rework, it's essentially just supplemental content at this point. You don't necessarily need Mega Evolutions to succeed in raid battles and different things like that. They never included Mega Evolutions in PvP. It was something that they teased at one point, it's something that they tested out, but we never heard anything about that ever since. But things could be different with Dynamax battles. It could certainly be the same thing. It could be one of those things where a year from now, it's just forgotten content. It's stuff that they never fully developed. It's very possible. But it's also possible that they're going to start gearing a lot more content around Dynamax battles. So yeah, in my opinion, I do think we need to start caring more about Dynamax content, and we need to stop ignoring stuff like max battle days and different things like that. I totally recognize, I'm going to reiterate this and say that it's not everyone. I think there's a lot of people out there that are enthusiastic about Dynamax content. Certainly when it comes to max battle days, you do see a lot of trainers come out. You see a lot of people come out to participate in these Gigantamax battles and all of these Dynamax legendary battles and different things like that. But overall, I feel like it's not everyone. I feel like a majority of players just see it as bonus content. It's stuff that's not necessary. But very soon, it could potentially be necessary content. So yeah, that's just my thesis, and I really do think that as Pokemon Go players, it would just benefit us to actually start caring about Dynamax content. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Do you feel like Dynamax content is actually essential? Do you feel like Niantic is going to be moving Pokemon Go towards that direction? I mean, eventually we're going to have Scopely Inc. take over the development of Pokemon Go. We already know that's confirmed, but we do not know when that's going to happen. That could potentially be next year. It could be in 5 years from now. Who knows? Maybe they're just going to allow Niantic to continue to do what they're doing. And if this is the direction that they want to go, then it is going to be the direction that they want to go. So yeah, definitely share your thoughts on that, and let's have a great discussion. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of it. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget the notification bell as well so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, remote Dynamax battles, as well as opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And I will always prioritize my patrons when it comes to remote raid invites and opening and sending gifts. So yeah, do keep that in mind. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you could always do that by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.
진솔아와 함께해 Pokémon Go 다 같이 와